who's watching this recording. My name is Steph Kohler, and I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders at Ligantic. And with me, I've got Mark Kohler. Mark, you want to jump on?
Hey, yeah, I'm the CTO at Ligantic. Yeah, co-founder as well.
Welcome to our Come Create With Me sessions. These are our fortnightly sessions that we have been running in our Discord community there, and we wanted to bring these to some of our other mediums to open up the channels, making it more available for people to come and see what you can create on the Ligantic platform. And these sessions really are about focusing on building a specific solution in the platform that demonstrates a capability. Sometimes it's a new capability that we're releasing, like our GeoJSON capability that is released on beta in our last release. These are one of the sessions that we run. We also run a fortnightly session offset from this, which is our live onboarding session. So if you're just coming onto the Ligantic platform, you want some help understanding how to build and want to go through a bit more of an interactive session, feel free to reach out or join some of those live onboarding sessions. But today we're going to introduce the GeoJSON capability, which is a mapping capability, an ability for you to have visualized geographical data in the platform. It's been one of the things that have been a requested feature that has kind of bumped up and up our backlog as the needs have come through from our clients. And what we've put together today is showing a basic version, so showing how you could map potentially your team across a geographical map. So we're going to show you where all of the Ligantic team are based, which is going to be fun. And that's how you can generate data from a map. We're also going to show you how you can use already generated data or already captured data and publish it so it's visible in a map. So there's two different ways that you can use and generate the data there. And so we might jump into the demo straight away. Mark, what do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'm hoping you got the demo up on your screen. You do. I'm looking at
a semblance of a demo, yeah.
So I'm looking at a schema here. And for those that haven't played on the Ligantic platform too much, there are three main bits of the Ligantic platform solutions that you'll get used to and be using is our schema capability. So that's where data is stored. We're going to also work with our experience capability, which is where your user interfaces or your websites are created. And there's a third core capability, which is our flows, which we're not going to touch on too much today. Mark, do you want to take us through this schema and what you got planned for us to demonstrate the GeoJSON capability?
Yeah, awesome. I'll jump into one of the entities stored against this schema. So just this top one. It's a really simple schema. It's only got one property that stores the GeoJSON data. So it's using our built-in IDs, as you can see on the screen here. So clicking into this one, you can see there's just one property, map data, on this particular view. And it's showing a map editor. And so this particular entity has 3 different points stored on the map, and that's just showing our team members and the cities that our team members are in, and some extra metadata on top of each of those points that shows the properties of the counts of the team members in those particular cities. I can jump into the schema behind the scenes to show how that's all configured.
Yeah.
So let me jump into there. So just clicking this little cog here. That brings us into our schema designer. So in here, you can see, again, that map data property, and that's set to GeoJSON. You can set that to any number of different properties. But if we jump into the details here, there's a few different things you can do that you can configure. So minimizing the number of types that you can actually allow within the structure of the GeoJSON. So for example, here we're allowing sort of anything, any kind of point, line, or any kind of polygon geometry. But if you wanted to have like a simple point map and that's all you wanted to store in that schema, then you could just sort of deselect everything and select just points if you just wanted a point map, for example. So quite a few things there.
When you say
It,
just wanting a point map, Mark, is that similar to what you had on the screen before, where you just had points?
yeah, that's right. So we can jump back. If I jump back to this, so I've just got points here. But because, as you saw in the schema, we're allowing sort of any type of shape. For example, we could draw a polygon here, and that would show as saved data within there as well. We can see the raw data in this field down here if you really want to get into the nuts and bolts of the data and how it's being stored behind the scenes. So you can see these are all, there's points here, and then at the top here, we've got, at the bottom here, sorry, we've got a polygon, the one that I just drew. So that's sort of how that's stored within the actual field. And yeah, you're able to limit and control what's stored in the field according to that schema. But I won't save this because we only want to see the points in this particular example.
Yep.
The other part here is sort of, yeah, that zoom level, the default center, and the like, but you can also define a property schema. So if you want to store, like you saw, the display count on those different properties, you can, on those different points, you can add a schema in here that lets you actually add in that data on top of those points. Yeah.
So there's a lot of configurability that you can do in that level, and it allows you to really customize what you want to display on this map here.
Yeah, exactly. And so you could jump in here and click that and sort of edit those feature properties. So if we hire a new team member, we'd set that one to 8 and then save that, and then we'd have our 8 there, for example. So that's the data actually being stored. We can jump over to the to how we might want to display that within an experience. Does that sound good, Steph?
Yeah. So I imagine this is a good way to capture that data and then save it in that format. But now we might want to pop this onto our website on our about page, for instance, to sort of show where the team are. So how would we do that?
Yeah, so we can jump into our space settings, jump over to an experience, and we'll jump into this outreach experience. And so you can see here, we've got these points on the map here. So individuals 1, 7, 2. So that's all being driven by that data behind the scenes and being pulled in via the query configuration on our nodes. So this is using our visualization block. And here we've just got that set to the map component, and we're referencing the data we're pulling in up from this query. We can jump into that in a second. But you can see there's a number of different zoom filtering, for example. If you have multiple layers of data that you want to show as people zoom in, then you can specify a minimum zoom and a maximum zoom on each of those features, so you can really customize how that data is being shown.
So just to make that real for this example here, Mark, if we had more international team members for this example, we could have a zoom out layer where it would aggregate that count of team members in Australia and team members potentially in New Zealand, or team members in the US, and it would show that count at a country level. And then at a different zoom input, we could show that different count at a state level within those countries.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you can then do different leveling however you want to within that display. So yeah. Then there's additional block configuration that you can do here. So as I hover on here, the weight and the fill opacity of this dot has changed. And we've got, if we wanted to show a mini map, for example, we could show the mini map down in the bottom right here. If we wanted to limit the zoom levels, so max zoom here is 11. Maybe we wanted a minimum zoom as well. And then just our standard size and spacing properties that are available on that block.
So Mark, I know we're currently focusing very heavily in on the map and the visualization block that's available, but if I wanted to, like, I can see that that's showing the map. If I wanted to make this into a more holistic website page with some text at the top that introduced us as an about page, how would I do that?
Yeah, so we've got just a sort of a really basic hierarchy here. We've got a box and a container at the top, and then the map showing there. So around this block, you can do use all of our different blocks here. So we might want to say our people at the top here, and it'd be just as easy as that to get a text box at the top there, and keep on customizing it however you want. I always say I'm not a designer, so I'll leave it to the designers to do good looking setups. But yes, all of the power of all of our blocks here to make a very nice experience around the visualization.
Brilliant. And so again, using the built-in elements of our experience designer here, you can go in and preview this or publish this live.
Yeah, that's right. So that's just hitting this this publish button here, and then we could jump over to see the public or the cloud URL for this one. So if I share that, you can see we're now in the actual experience itself, and we're able to see all of that data. We can sort of zoom out and zoom around. This is where, if we had configured that zoom leveling, you'd be able to see it at the country level and have that aggregate up to there. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite handy.
Very cool. All right, so it's probably enough of an example of how you've created that data from within the schema. You've captured it and pointed out on these points where our team are located across Victoria. What else can we do with this this new capability? I'm just asking all of these fun questions, like I haven't prepared them.
Yeah, so this is essentially you'd be able to, like we've just shown how we can edit and create data using our schemas and using the import there, but we can also grab public data sets. Like, for example, here we've got the GeoJSON postcodes for Inner Melbourne, I believe. So you can grab any sort of JSON from these sorts of resources, and then we can actually bring that in to set up in a new entity, for example. So I've just downloaded this file, and I can create a new outreach map, is what that's called at the moment.
Yep.
And here I can actually just drop the JSON in, the GeoJSON in to this field. And this will do a bunch of checking to make sure it's valid data. So I've just pasted that in from the file that I downloaded. This will do a lot of checking to make sure it's valid data. And we'll see here that there's a bunch of different types of values that are set on this, on each of these different polygons. So very easy to get data into the system, and we can see, I think we poked around this data set a little bit. It was interesting to see that it looks like, what's this one? So this one's the Showgrounds. So the Royal Melbourne Showgrounds gets its own postcode.
Was that postcode 3031?
Yeah, 3032, is it? Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so yeah, some interesting shapes on this map, but yeah, you can easily bring in data. I've just zoomed over with that mini map, but yeah, so lots of stuff that you can do to bring in that data. But we can hit create there, and because of the way that our schema is set up, I can jump straight to the experience, and that's updated with the latest uploaded data, and we can see all of these. Now this data set doesn't have that individual's property set up like we had with the other data, so we can see that on hover, that's an empty field. So yeah, and you can see my minimum zoom, I can't zoom in as much as I could in the editor, because in our visualization block we've set the max zoom to 11, and this is 11. So it's as close as we can get, but we can tweak that.
Brilliant. Well, okay, so that gives us a introduction to this brand new capability on the Ligantic platform where you can create and capture GeoJSON data by operating within that map. You can use already captured data and just drop it in so you can display it, pretty quickly and easily in your websites or in your reports. I'm thinking about this being a really good application for some of our businesses who want to demonstrate that they've done travel from this point to this point, or that this covers this area, these very specific points on a geographical region, and they can show that dynamically in the experiences that they're generating from the platform. So some really good features. Mark, is there anything that you wanted to cover on this capability that we haven't had a chance to demonstrate in this short session yet?
No, I think we've covered the basics of it, but keen to collaborate with our users and see what new features they need.
All right, brilliant. Well, thanks so much, Mark. Really appreciate you taking us through that. Thanks to everyone who joined us live and everyone who's watching the recording. Leave a comment below on the channel that you're watching this on. Let us know if you have any questions. Let us know if you want access to this. This is currently behind a feature flag for some beta testing. So if you're interested in GIS or GeoJSON data, or you've got an application for it, reach out, let us know, and we can book in a collaboration session. But thank you so much. Look forward to working with you all again soon.